So it looks like Google has just rolled out the biggest redesign of Google Photos that I have seen in a very, very long time. In this video, we're going to dive in and take a look at what's new because just from a cursory glance of what I just saw, it looks like there is a lot. So this is on my Galaxy Z Fold 7 and it literally just hit my device. You should see it rolling out to potentially your device relatively soon. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly just jump into a photo, and you'll see that maybe you've already seen this actually. The little controls down here at the bottom do look a little bit different. That got to my device first, but the edit button inside here, everything is very, very different. So you can see we have a series of controls up here at the top, and this first one is actually one I've been waiting for a while. It is an option called auto frame, and as you can see, it kind of zoomed in and tried to frame this photo a little bit better, but you should be able to click on it again and have the AI take over, and what it's going to do is give you several different options, one of which should be that the photo is actually zoomed out even further, and there you go. You can actually see that here. As you can see, I can tap and hold and show the original versus what it actually generated. Now, something strange is happening here because, as you can see in the bottom left corner, this says that it is AI generated content because I edited it within Samsung's Gallery app, and so yeah, when it zoomed it out, it did some weird stuff with that text, but ignore that. You can see what I mean though. It zoomed the photo out, and it's going to give you several different potential framing options to go with. I'm a big fan of this feature. In fact, I think that one looks really good, so we're just going to click on the check mark and keep that. You can also see the little handles to crop things look different. They're like little rounded things up there on the corner, and you also have this option here to change between different cropping aspect ratios, freeform, original, whatever you might want to do. And then you have the option to mirror the image or to rotate the image with that icon there. Down below, enhance, dynamic, and boost. So enhance is just going to try to enhance the photo. Dynamic is just a little bit stronger, and then boost is sort of another different look. They're just going to give you sort of different, they're not quite filters, but they're kind of like filters in a way. Down here at the bottom, actions. This is completely different. So crop, magic eraser, unblur, move. So one thing you may be noticing here is that the little magic editor button is gone because all of the magic editor features are now just part of Google Photos. It's not kind of tucked away in a little purple circle, and I can show you this. So move, for instance, you click on that, and this is just part of Magic Editor. I can click on Jet, and it automatically highlights her. I got most of her paw there kind of got a little bit cut off, but I can now long press, and I can move her around in this image. I can put her here, and then what it's going to try to do is it's going to try to generate what I just left behind. It's going to fill in that space if I click on this move button. Hopefully this looks okay. As you can see there, her paws were kind of underneath some grass, and so it kind of missed a little bit of that. But you can see the general idea there of what it actually did. It's going to work better if I actually took the time and, circled her paws and everything. But for this purpose, you see what I mean. Magic eraser, same thing. It's just sort of built in to the general menu now. We'll use a different image that I think is better suited for something like this. There's more things to possibly remove. So we'll remove this little bud from this crepe myrtle tree. And this actually looks like this is no longer the old magic eraser that is just doing like, what do they call it? Context aware fill or something like that. This is Magic Editor's eraser because it filled in what should have been behind that bud in a really accurate way. So Magic Eraser has been upgraded. You used to have Magic Eraser that worked okay, and then you could go into Magic Editor and do an edit there, and it looked a lot better. You don't have two anymore. There's just this one. And then interestingly, some of these used to be under an option that was called Adjust, like Pop and Sharpen. These used to be under Adjust, and I don't think that that's even a thing anymore. So you also have Markup, where you can quickly draw on top of images. Then you do have Filters, Sky Styles, and then Filters. So there's like a subcategory, and these are all the same old filters that we had before. Sky Styles is there as well, and you can change. Obviously, there's no sky in this photo, so not a great example there. Lighting, so this looks to be what Adjust was. It now just says lighting, and then color is its own as well. So the Adjust section has been broken into 3 subcategories. Here's an interesting feature too. Just on this screen itself, you can just go right ahead and circle something, and it's going to pop up and give you different options. Erase, move, and then reimagine Let's click on that and see what that actually gives us. Is this going to give us the ability to type in? We can. So this was a previously Pixel exclusive feature, and now we just have it. So what can I do with this? I can tell it what I want this to be. So rather than being just a bud, I'm going to make it be a crepe myrtle flower. I think that's how you spell crepe myrtle. I may be wrong about that. Hopefully Reimagine knows exactly. I think it might be one word. Is crepe myrtle one word? And there you go. It made it into a crepe myrtle flower. It was very constrained by the space available, but it was able to make it. And again, Reimagine was not something I could do on my Z Fold 7 prior. All I could do was erase things. Oh, and it's given us several different options as well. I think that the first one probably was the closest to being right, but yeah, they all look a little bit weird because of the space I gave them. But I like that. You just go straight into circling things and go from there. One other thing that they've added is just a search button. If you want to get to a certain thing in this editor, you want to find something quickly, you can just search for it and it's going to pop it up. It's going to surface it for you. Now, in their blog post from back a couple of months ago, they did show this like AI suggestion down here next to Boost. Let me see if I can show you this. There we go. It looks like something maybe down here. It says like AI enhance or something like that. There it is, AI enhance. I'm not seeing that. That's why I was jumping between different photos, because I was trying to kind of see if any of them would surface that option, but I don't see that. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe that's not fully rolled out yet, or maybe it's only on certain images. All in all, I am quite pleased with this, and the biggest reason is because of this auto frame feature. I cannot tell you how many times I have needed to use this. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually use Gemini or Drawing Assist to make a wallpaper, but the quality of it is not quite as good as I need it to be, and a great way to increase the quality is to use something like this to zoom the photo out. That way it's, you know what I mean, it just makes it looks a little bit higher quality because of that. And I would have to switch over to a Pixel device or to my Honor Magic V5 that has outpainting as well to do that. Well, guess what, guys? I don't have to do that anymore. I can now do that directly on, I guess, any phone that I have. This is my Z Fold 7, and it is working beautifully, and it is very, very accurate and very, very convincing. So just for that alone, I am pretty excited, but I really do also think that just having some of this stuff be right there, front and center, no longer hidden underneath the Magic Editor option, I think makes a lot of sense. I'm also seeing portrait blur here as an option on this one. Now, this is weird because it's not really any further away, but you can see that it is trying to apply a portrait blur to what I just circled, and that, again, probably not the best example of that, but that is pretty cool. We'll try that on this photo here. I'm going to click on Rutherford. I'm going to click on portrait blur, and it's going to know what, that's great. That's a really smart way to do a portrait blur. I think that's very intelligent. There's a lot of good stuff here, guys. I'm quite pleased with this. So let me know, has this arrived on your device yet? Have you noticed anything that I'm not noticing? I'm sure there's probably about 10 more things that are going to pop out that they have added to this, but I think that all of this so far that I'm noticing is very, very smart. Not having Magic Editor kind of hiding some of these cool features away. Just click edit and start circling things and start doing your edits. That is really, really smart. Cool stuff. Great to see. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.